All right, welcome back to another one. We back on that comic grind. My fault, I haven't uploaded no comic, none. You know what I'm saying? Just, man, get with me. You know what I'm saying? Join the Discord. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Join the Twitch. You get a lot more information regarding what's going on with me, why I'm not uploading, why this not happening, why this, or ask me questions. You know, it's a lot because I know a lot of y'all be having questions like, "Oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that, bro?" Other social medias, bro. I get so many comments and things on YouTube. It's hard for me to keep up with everybody individually. But today we got one of my favorite comics of all time. To me, this is like the best Marvel comic. Let me know if you disagree or agree. But Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. I haven't seen this since I was a kid, or you know, just read it in general. And so today we got the Comicstorian version. He's gonna sum it up. I'm guessing, and we're just gonna check it out. And I really want you guys to see this because this is like really one of the greatest stories of all time. It's hilarious. Love Deadpool, love Marvel, all that. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video.
She wanna know where I be, she wanna know, yeah. Walking that bitch, designer all over my sleeve. Walking with slime, yeah. That nigga mad, cause she wanna leave with me. Shorty, she mine, yeah. I let her brag, I be fucking this bitch, she out her mind, yeah.
Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites for you to understand. And then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective company.
True.
There are many variations of Deadpool in the multiverse, so many versions of the story of Deadpool. But what if the heroes of the Marvel Universe did the right thing? What if they actually had him committed to an institution in one of these versions? What if the X-Men tried to help him? Our story begins with the X-Men delivering Wade Wilson to the institution. He cries out, begging them not to. He doesn't do well in places like this. But Professor X thinks that this is the best option, and they leave Wade with Dr. Brighton.
So you already know, like, why would you know what I mean? He just said, I don't do this. I don't do this well. And I'm pretty sure if you don't know, Deadpool got 3 voices, but I think he's gonna explain that.
You see, Deadpool has multiple voices in his head. One for jokes that comes across in yellow boxes, and one to be serious that comes across in white boxes. And of course, he has his own voice. A normal doctor would have fixed this. And maybe there's a universe out there where that actually happened. But this isn't Dr. Brighton in this universe. This is a little-known villain named the Psycho Man. He has a master plan that Deadpool fits wonderfully into. This plan begins with conditioning Deadpool mentally. The jokey voice begins to scream out in pain, telling Deadpool to resist the mental conditioning, and the serious voice begs for the conditioning to stop. But both agree. This is killing Deadpool. No, this is killing them. Psycho Man's plan is to place Deadpool under his control along with every other villain in this facility to create an unstoppable army of willing soldiers.
And you would think like superheroes with super meta abilities and all this would have picked up on this, you know what I'm saying, before. Hey, bro, hey, just I'll just talk it.
But he didn't accomplish this. You see, Psycho Man killed the voices in Deadpool's head, leaving only one voice left to tell Deadpool what to do.
The red one.
No more insanity as the serious and the jokey voice argued as to what Deadpool should do all the time. There's a new voice, a red box voice, and it says, "Hello, Wade." Deadpool stands up, freed of his bonds, and he grabs the tiny Psycho Man out of his robotic body, and he smears him on the forms that release Deadpool.
Jeez,
Good,
bruh.
good, the red box says. You know who I am. You've been waiting for me. You've killed one of them. Now finish the job. So Deadpool begins to walk through the facility, dousing the whole place in gasoline.
Deadpool kind of got a little cake on him. What is that stance? That's your murder stance.
And he burns the entire building to the ground. As he leaves the wreckage, he asks the red box, "Hey, where did the yellow and the white box go?" And the red box just informs him, "Don't worry about that." His next stop is the Baxter building, and we don't know what he did exactly, but he went there to get the tools that he may need. First, he did something to Reed Richards, ruining his electricity and allowing him to die slowly as he melted.
And this is like the shorter version, by the way. Let me know if you guys from now on want like the long versions, and we'll chop those up into parts. But this is just like the shorter version, like I said.
The invisible woman's arms. He then chopped off the Human Torch's head before the Invisible Woman put a force field
Hey,
in his
y'all
brain,
keep playing with Deadpool like he won't get with your favorite hero. Like, stop it, bro.
forcing his head to explode. This is Deadpool, though, and he just regrew his head and he stabbed her in the back. The biggest shocker of his first kills is the fact that he then murdered the Watcher. Because as he explains to the Watcher, he just doesn't see things the same way that everyone else does. He can see the Watcher. He can see past everything. Deadpool moved quickly from there, murdering many of the
Pretty
heroes.
sure the Watcher is like kind of like one of those god figures in this universe, right? Let me know if I'm right or wrong. I don't know.
Heroes and villains in the Marvel Universe, and eventually, he found himself face to face with Spider-Man. They tangle in the
Y'all favorite hero.
sky, but Spider-Man drops Deadpool into the street below, splattering him onto the asphalt before landing in front of him. You're lucky I'm not you. You're lucky I don't kill you for what you've done. But Deadpool just drags his broken body towards Spider-Man. Am I? Do you think they would have let you break character even if you wanted to? Spider-Man finds himself confused by Deadpool's usual babble, and he grabs him by the shirt, demanding to know what he's talking about. But Deadpool just puts a gun to Spider-Man's chin, and he blows his brains into the sky.
I'm mad that Spider-Man, you know, realistically speaking, Spidey senses something, you just... But you know what? Because of the fourth dimensional talk, he probably... I don't know.
As Deadpool walks away from the scene of the crime, he asks the red box who's next. But it tells him, it doesn't matter anymore. You don't need to play to their spectacle. Just kill everyone and end this. There's no one to impress now that you have me. Deadpool denies that though. Spectacle is my style, so let's do something big. And what's bigger than killing the entire remaining Avengers roster? So Deadpool steals Hank Pym's Pym particles, and he uses them to enlarge a stockpile of munitions in the Avengers office, where every Avenger has showed up for a little meeting that Captain America has called. The explosion is massive, and Deadpool comments on how it's raining little pieces of men and women. Luke Cage gets up because he has unbreakable skin, but once again, Deadpool isn't worried, and he tells him that he expected a few of the unbreakable type guys to be a problem. So he shrunk down a few other bombs, and he slipped it into the Avengers' coffee. Luke Cage just looks worried as smoke begins to come out of his nostrils,
That's crazy.
and he falls
That's
over.
wild.
Thor then gets up and he swings his hammer at Deadpool.
Nah, okay, I can't lie. The way he kills Thor is kind of wicked. I will not lie.
Deadpool just asks, "What's stronger, Thor? You or your hammer?" And he enlarges Thor's hammer with the Pym particles so that it's big enough to squash Thor. He then just walks over. "Have at thee, Thor!" And he boops him on the nose. The red box then asks Deadpool, "Are you happy?" as he walks away. And Deadpool just says, he's sorry that it had to be this way. They just don't understand. They never realized that they were puppets made to move and dance and suffer. You're doing them a mercy, the red box tells him. So Deadpool's next stop is to face off with the Hulk, who literally tears Deadpool limb from limb. But remember, Deadpool heals. So once the Hulk finishes tearing him limb from limb, he runs over to hide and nap, reverting back into Bruce Banner, which is exactly what Deadpool needed to cut off his head. He then proceeds to cut many more of the heroes and villains of the universe, until eventually, he kidnaps Professor X and he ties him up. Once Professor X wakes up, he looks at Deadpool. "Why, Wade? Why did you hurt so many?" And Deadpool just asks him, "Do you really think any of them felt anything?" "I do," Professor X tells him. "Then the next part is going to suck for you. Now say it like we practiced." And he stabs Professor X in the leg. With tears in his eyes, Professor X sends out the signal. "To me, my X-Men." The X-Men are currently trying their best to fight their way through a maze of traps set up to kill them by Deadpool. And they are failing horribly. One by one they fall. Scott, Emma, Pixie, Rogue, Gambit, all of them. No one is safe. Professor X pleads with Deadpool.
What about Nightwalker?
But Deadpool explains that he's the only one who's figured everything out, and he's saving everyone. You see, Deadpool is
This
known
sound like DC Universe music low-key.
for breaking the fourth wall, talking to the readers of comics, video games, and movies. Everyone thought of him as the funny man, but it's actually been the fourth wall that's been breaking him, crushing him. Professor X has finally had it, and he yells out enough as he reaches into Deadpool's brain to kill him. But he stops. His only response to what he sees is, "I never realized." And then he goes brain dead.
Oh.
Deadpool then sees Wolverine on the monitors, and he decides that he's going to end this with
Wolverine versus Deadpool is a crazy battle, bro. That's very, very, and I mean very close, bro. I don't even base forms. I don't know who wins that. Probably Wolverine, right? But nah, because if you give Deadpool his tools, it's interesting.
Wolverine himself. But Wolverine is already in shock because he's found how Deadpool is handling X-23 and Daken, his clone and his child, and their healing factors. He has them rigged up to a flamethrower and a machine that will monitor vitals every time that they even start to heal and their hearts begin to beat again. The flamethrowers light them up, keeping them dead. Deadpool then appears behind Wolverine, wearing the skin of Beast as a cloak, and he begins to battle it out with Wolverine. As they slice and dice each other, Deadpool explains, he can't kill Wolverine, but it's not because of his mutant power, because it isn't regeneration. His power is popularity, and no matter how many times he dies, he'll just come back to haunt Deadpool. So he chops off Wolverine's head, and he tells him not to worry. He has something planned for him that not even popularity will save him from. Following that, Deadpool ramps up his game by using Puppet Master to force as many superheroes and villains as he can to just walk off a ledge to their deaths.
Damn!
In what appears to be a mass suicide. And then eventually, Taskmaster tracks down Wade, intent on killing him. And he honestly does stand the greatest chance against Deadpool, as he can mimic any fighter's actions, and Taskmaster even gets to the point where he can hear the red boxes in Deadpool's head. But it's all a part of Deadpool's plan, as the Man-Thing reaches out and kills Taskmaster.
Nah, you had to give them their fair one-ons. You had to give them this fair one-up, bro. Come on. That'd have been a good fight, too.
Because the Man-Thing can sense Taskmaster's fear, and as Taskmaster got more and more like Deadpool, he became afraid of what he was becoming. And that was Deadpool's goal, to use Taskmaster's fear to draw out the Man-Thing. And the Man-Thing is a being that protects all of existence. He guards over all of creation. And he can sense what Deadpool's end goal is. To end everything. To end those controlling the heroes and the villains of the Marvel Universe. To kill all of the Puppet Masters. So he agrees with Deadpool's purpose. And the Man-Thing sacrifices himself to allow Deadpool to have a gateway. To exit from this reality. He walks into all of creation and he sees everything. He sees the entire multiverse laid out before him. And you would think that this would be the end of our tale. But this is only the beginning. The Red Box explains that we don't know where creation begins or where it ends. So Deadpool decides that he'll just start hacking everything up. And eventually, someone will take notice. And when they do, he can kill the one who started all of this. But his first stop is the universe that wrote this story. And through the doorway, he can see that Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe writers. He begins to walk into their office.
Savage,
but he stops, and he turns to us, the reader, the viewer, the listener, to let us know. He'll be here soon. Just let him wrap up this little world first. This begins what is known as the Deadpool Trilogy. And he does go through quite a few stops before eventually getting stopped, but I'm not going to tell you how, why, or if he stopped because he accomplished his goal. Because you're going to have to join us next week when we bring you Deadpool Illustrated, where he goes into some very classic books. I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and I hope you
guys enjoyed that one right there. I love comics, bro. I really do. They're so fire. I just like rewatching them. Is just everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, bro. Shout out Comicstorian. He is the GOAT. I'm subscribed to all my channels. Let me subscribe with this one. He's really the GOAT, bro. I grew up watching him and just like, timeless, bro. Timeless. He does a big service to like the whole entire comic world and nothing but props to him and everything that he does, bro. For real. Thank you. Shout out to him. But if you guys really enjoyed this, let me know what else I should do and really support and all that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what else you guys want to see. And I hope you guys stay cozy gang. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one, bro. Peace out. This one's crazy, man.